You're tuned in to the DMV Hoops Podcast.
This is John the Scripter, head girls basketball coach at St. John's College High School, and this is the DMV Hoops Podcast.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast, the DMV's home for high school basketball. Hosted by Kirk Cross and featuring Chelsie Cross. We bring you the latest news, interviews, rankings, recruiting buzz, and standout performances from the public and private school basketball scene across Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Stream us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Buzzsprout, YouTube, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Now, let's get into it. Here's your host, Kirk Cross.
Welcome to the DMV Hoops Podcast. As always, I'm Kirk Cross. She is
Chelsie Cross.
We're here at DMV live on the campus of DeMatha Catholic High School, the Morgan and Kathy Wooten Gymnasium. And really, the only reason I need to introduce our next guest is because we don't have cameras, so you can't see him. But ladies and gentlemen, former NBA official, Mr. Joey Crawford is here. How you doing, sir?
Thank you. Everything's good. Life is good.
You look like you're ready to throw the ball up one more time for another game.
I can't run anymore. I wish I could.
You know, Mr. Crawford, I've watched, I don't know how many of your games that you've officiated. The NBA has changed over the years. You were under David Stern. Did you make it to our current commissioner?
Oh, yeah. And then
I can't remember when you retired. I'm sorry.
2016, and then I went to work, still work for the league in a management position under Adam Silver.
Okay, all right. Let's talk for a second. I mean, I know we're here at DMV Live, and I'm going to get to what that purpose is for you being here. But, Mr. Crawford, David Stern completely transformed what the NBA looked like. And it took players, it took coaches, it took teams, it took officials. What was that transition like, or what was that evolution like under your tenure as an official?
Well, my first year was in '77. Larry O'Brien was the commissioner at the time. And I can't even remember what year David took over. But it was everybody wants to point to when Magic came in and Bird came in. I just think the game just got better, and David was one of those guys that marketed the sport. But referees, all we cared about is trying to get the plays right.
Right.
So we were happy that there were sold-out buildings.
Right.
That was we knew that our business and our game was good when you looked up in the stands and it was getting sold out. It wasn't that way in the 70s.
Well, you know, and from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, and certainly you've had relationships with the players. You've built relationships with the players. You know, you came in, wow. I mean, we're talking Dr. J, we're talking Magic, we're talking Kareem, we're talking, you know, all the teams that I watch. Because I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan for years. You got to see Jordan. I mean, you got to see all of this talent in the NBA. But what I think as the casual fan, I think what we don't see is there's a science to what you do and what officials do. And wow, at home we get the benefit of instant replay. And now, of course, these days, we can use that a bit on the official side. But in your time, for the majority of your career, you had to get it right the first time.
Yeah, but it made it a little harder. But the training was not as extreme as it is today because the NBA has a lot more money today. Right. They can pump money into the training. But back in our day, we had pretty good training. And then I think it was like my last 10, 15 years, we had replay.
Right.
So it really helped our profession versus some referees in the beginning didn't like replay. Right. But I actually grew to love it, to be honest with you.
All right, so it helps again. You want to get the call right.
There it is. There it is. You just hit it right on the head.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is probably important. How do they take care of the officials? Is there a green room? Do you get refreshments back there in between halves and before and after the game?
No, it's a great question. A lot of people don't even know. They think people come off the street, they referee the games.
Right.
Now, you have your own locker room.
Okay.
And you have security. It's very, very first class. The NBA takes care of their referees and always have. And you have your own locker room, you have a shower, you go in after the game, shower, go to the hotel, do your film work. It's a very, very professional business.
I think people don't realize that.
They don't. Yeah.
You go back and you critique yourself probably, and amongst your cohort, there's criticism, not negative criticism, but hey, we could have got that call right, or hey, we missed this one, or something like that.
Oh God, our film system is fabulous. We have instant film. As soon as the game is over,
right.
we can communicate with the replay center. We can talk.
Secaucus?
Yes, it's called very good. You know your stuff.
Yes, sir.
And we talk to Secaucus, and we'll have plays written down. Hey, give us that play, fourth quarter, 8:56,
right.
And you're going over those plays. And a lot of times, you're going right back to the hotel, maybe ordering room service, and you're looking at the tape of the game. It's the job is to get the plays right. You hit it right on the head. And the more film work you do, you improve as a ref. I'm watching film, and especially in this job that I'm doing, I watch film like constantly, but so do the refs.
Tell me, it seems like, because I was reading a bit about you, it seems like you kind of were working in high school a bit, and then you just jumped to the NBA. It seems like now it's either a longer process, or maybe it just doesn't work that way anymore. So tell me what that process was like for you, and why refereeing was your calling.
The process for me was completely different to today. Today it's off the charts better. When I was a kid, my father was a Major League Baseball umpire. So I was interested in officiating since I was 12, 13 years old. So I wanted to be an NBA ref. I didn't want to be a Major League Baseball umpire. So I started kids' games in high school, but I was lucky. I lived in Philadelphia. Philadelphia had a summer league called the Baker League. And the pros in those days, in the summer, to stay in shape, they played there. The pros that were from New York, Philly, Washington, Virginia, they would play in the Baker League. So I started doing that, and there were pro rules. So I could practice loose ball fouls and things like that. But back in the day, there also was a league called the Eastern League, which played in the wintertime. And that was all NBA rules, too. So they played in Allentown, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Hazleton. And it was awesome for a referee. So I was brought out of there when my first game as an NBA referee, I was 26 years old. So I've had a tremendous run. Very happy human being. But it's very different today. It's and much, much better. Training's better. Everything is better today.
So here's something that the listeners may not know. I'm an NBA junkie, so I would know these things. But I feel like, and please, to the extent that you can tell us, I think there are certain guidelines for NBA officials. For example, I know at one point you can't do but 6 or 8 games of the same team in one season and things like that. Do those things still exist, or they exist in your day?
They have restrictions. The NBA referees have a union.
Right.
Okay? And they bargain collectively with it. They have an attorney. And they bargain collectively with the NBA. And I don't even know what those rules are. How many times you can see a team. It makes no difference to the ref.
Right.
But that's something that management wanted. And it's their rule. And it's... Now that I'm in management, it makes sense. You may get a referee that has a problem with a team. It could be a game-ending play that cost a team a win or a loss, and now there's animosity between referee, team, the whole 9 yards. So it's not that bad to have a set number on a referee with teams. It really is not.
Where did you like traveling to? Perhaps it wasn't even the arena, although it may be, but you loved being in Salt Lake City because there's a restaurant you loved or whatever.
You know your stuff. NBA referees are gone from their homes 20 to 25 days a month.
Right.
So you're on the road. If, say, for example, me, I live in Philly. When I go to the West Coast, I go to LA, I'm out there for 10 days.
Right.
So, to me, I could care less what the towns were.
Okay.
I could care less. When I got my schedule, I looked and how many times am I going to sleep in my bed that month?
Okay.
Because you were, that was part of the job, being away. So, a place that I actually did like, and I tell people this, and they look at me like I'm insane.
Okay.
I loved Milwaukee.
Okay.
They had, I know it's cold, but they had this restaurant, and you hit it again. It's called the Calderon Club.
Okay.
And I loved that. It was just, they treated the referees like gold, but that's what happens with towns. You get acclimated to the town where you eat. Right. It has nothing to do with anything else other than that.
Well, hotel beds. If you get a bad hotel bed, you might not like that city.
We were big Marriott people.
Okay.
That's what we stayed in a bunch of Marriotts all the time.
Right. Wow. Let's get to why you're here. We're talking NBA.
Sure.
What puts you here in Hyattsville, Maryland for the Scholastic Live period?
Sean Hull is an NCAA referee, and he's running a camp in concert with DeMatha, right? Mm-hmm. And Sean and I have become friends. He's got a podcast. I've done his podcast, and he asked me if I would come down and do a camp that he's running. And me, I love teaching refereeing. So I came down yesterday, today, come down early tomorrow morning. I'll watch a few games, and then I'll leave. But this is all just referees that are here. This is a teaching camp.
Love it. And you've had a career. And I think you're likely the kind of person, just by being here, where if you can move the game forward by giving constructive criticism to these officials, is that part of what you're doing here?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I just did an hour and a half session with game awareness.
Okay.
And I have tape, watching plays. It was awesome. Referees, everything was interactive. And you're trying to get them better.
Right.
And I have the experience. I have all these plays that I can show them, good and bad, what NBA referees did.
Right.
And it's not just all good. They get better when you show bad. But that's why I'm here.
If I say the name Chad Bestwick, does that mean anything to you?
Chad Bestwick.
He's one of the NBA officials. My wife happens to know him, and I said I would use throw his name out there.
There's nobody Chad Bestwick on our staff.
On the staff. Okay, so I'll find out where he officiates.
Yeah,
what he does. Is it college? Maybe he does college.
I think it's college.
Okay.
No, I know all the NBA refs because I got to interact with them all the time.
All right, so it must be college then.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. What the game today? It moves a little bit faster, a lot more technology. What do you wish you would have had before you retired that maybe is available now?
I wish I had, from the beginning of my career, all the technology that everybody has here. The challenge, the replay. People don't realize, referees, you said it earlier, referees want to get this right. And there's nothing worse than getting it wrong and going back to the hotel and staring at that ceiling and you can't sleep. So when you have replay and you have plays that are challenged, you like it as a ref. All you want to do is to get it right.
I think that as fans, the folks in the stands, and not the officials, the teams, the coaches, they get passionate. Do they seem to forget that you're human as well, and maybe you missed that one?
The greatest thing about our game is the fans.
Okay.
I mean, I have fans come up to me every day of the week, and usually when they leave after our conversation, it's this sentence.
Okay.
I always hated your guts, but now I like it.
Right.
So that's all it is. Fans aren't supposed to like referees. They're not supposed to like
Why not? You guys are bringing us a game that we love and you're officiating, and we look at replays all the time, and I'm like, I don't know how they got that right in real time.
Sometimes the ref doesn't know how they got it right.
Chelsie.
So, at the end of the 2014-2015 season, you had the most playoff and final games refereed out of all the active refs. Now, I don't know if you can speak on this. I don't know if you remember when you've done so much. Was there any games or matchups that stood out, and what championship games and stadiums were the most electrifying?
Finals games and playoff games, I was lucky. I worked the most playoff games. There was that one referee worked more finals games than me, and that was Mendy Rudolph. But the electrifying part of those types of games are the game itself. The refs are trying to go out there, and you're trying to be as calm, cool, and collected as you possibly can be. The games that stand out, a lot of them I don't remember, which it is awful, and it is one of my regrets of the thousands of games that I worked. But there's 3 games that stick out.
Okay.
There's 3 Game 7s that I had in the finals. It was Houston, New York, Detroit, San Antonio, and Boston, LA. And they were the 3 7 games.
Right. Question.
Sure.
This is random. You may forget. Did you do 2001 Game 3 Lakers Philly?
No, I had. The reason I know it is that I had Game 1, and Philly won, and then Game 5, LA closed them out, and I had Game 5. So I had 1 and 5, and the reason that I knew that it was 5 because I was going to sleep in my bed that night, and they swept them. I think they lost the first, and then they beat them 4 straight.
That's the one where Tyronn Lue got stepped over by Allen Iverson.
I had that game. That was
Yes, you
Game
did.
1, yeah.
And that's the first one they had lost in the playoffs, I think.
I don't remember that kind of stuff.
I feel like I remember. I'm a Lakers fan.
Oh, I know.
I remember that
you would
loss.
remember better than me.
Yeah. But I went to Game 3 in Philly.
Oh, get out.
I had middle of the pack tickets, not too high, not too low. I just found the invoice for that. That was in 2001, $325 to sit in the 200 level seat.
It's not that today.
No, in the Garden, they just what were they at 6,000 a pop just to get in the door.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, that's where we've come.
Yes, there's a name you know, and I will mention. Oh, by the way, my wife said he was a college official.
Yeah.
There's a name you know. The only referee besides you now that I've ever interacted with, and man, you hear your name in the stands. The guy doesn't know me. And I said, hey, Dick Bavetta.
Yeah.
He said, hey, man, how you doing?
Yeah.
And he treated me like he was one of my friends.
Yeah, Dick has that.
He was a legend, right?
Dick's still living. We worked in the old Eastern League together.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to Dick in years, but he's still around.
Right. I loved watching Dick Bavetta. I love watching you. I love all the officials, honestly, because
Thank you.
For someone like me who tried to play 1 year of basketball, who wasn't very good.
Yeah, either was I.
I got into coaching, and I was an official, on the rec league level for a year or 2.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what I did learn. After 1 day of running all-day games with 13-year-olds, I learned to wear ankle braces the next time.
Yeah. Well, at least you learned something.
I was hurting. Chelsea, let's not keep it too long. What else you got?
Tell me about maybe from the beginning of your career to even now, or what you see in referees now that you've learned from. Maybe when you first started, you realized I wasn't calling as many travel calls as I should, or I was calling too many.
It's a great question.
Thank you. So what did you learn throughout your career?
No, it's a great question. I've found watching referees of today, one, they're trained better. They are more open and honest with discussions when it's their plays that are missed. Back in the day, we weren't as open as these guys. And the referees of today really, really accept because I do it. I have to walk in the locker room, or I'm talking to them on the phone, or interacting with them on a Zoom or something like that. They're really, really open to criticism and to talking about the craft. Back in our day, I don't think we were as open. I think it may have been that the people that broke me in, they didn't have tape. So you could do what you wanted to do. You didn't have tape. So you didn't see yourself screwing up all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And then as the advent of tape came in, I think it was like in my first 10 years, we didn't have it. After that, we had it. you just get better as a ref because you're watching yourself and you're saying, no wonder he got angry at me. Because I look like I was angry. When you can point that out to referees on a Zoom, it's powerful. It's very, very powerful. And our referees of today, I think, are so much better than we ever were.
I'll take the old days any day, Joey Crawford. I don't mind the officials today, but I feel like in your day, the officials had character. I felt like you were my friend I was watching on the screen, that kind of thing.
It's a great comment by you, and I hear it a lot. But I think what may add to that, too, is that back when you were watching it, there was 2 referees, and now there's 3, so it adds another person to it, and now it's another person that our fans got to know. But I never saw that person before, where back when there was 2 refs, everybody knew who those 2 refs were. I think that's my opinion of
It's a crew chief?
Referee, umpire.
Umpire, there it is, umpire, crew chief. And who is the person who leads? The crew chief is the leader?
Crew chief.
And now, let's just get a couple more questions, the things behind the scenes. There's always an alternate official at the table, is that correct?
No.
Oh,
only in the playoffs.
Oh, so if someone gets hurt, we drop to 2? Oh, maybe I'm noticing that more. So there's no alternate official during a regular season game.
No.
In the playoffs, there is. Now, the NBA, I know the PA announcer is hired by the team. Those folks on cameras or on the screens, that's a hired NBA job. The NBA appoints those people?
The people on the table during the regular season are team employees.
Okay.
During the playoffs, I think that the game clock and the shot clock are from other cities.
Okay. So in a regular season game, shot clock and game clock, that is...
They work for the team.
They work for the team. Okay, understood. Is there anything else behind the scenes that he can say that we want to know about?
I can say anything. I'm an open book.
All right, tell me, who's going to win the 2030 finals? Is it fixed?
Who cares? I do know it. It's not fixed.
No, I would never think that. I think the NBA is a wonderful product, and it's come a long way.
So do I.
I love the Jordan years, even though he was beating teams and my Lakers couldn't get one in. I love the Pat Riley years. I love the Joey Crawford, Dick Bavetta years. I love the Phil Jackson years. I love, this sport has allowed me to show my kids what I love so much.
There you go.
We watch the game. Contrary to popular belief, during the regular season, it's still somewhat affordable. Yeah. You can get a $22 ticket, and sit upstairs.
I agree.
So I love that. The hot dogs are always good. But thank you for being a part of a sport that we love so much that never gets old to us. The NBA has done their job to market it and make sure that, the social media is out of control. I can tell you everyone who's starting every night.
I know.
And at 8 a.m. every morning.
It's fabulous.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
No, to me, yeah, very fantastic. It's fantastic. But I'm a fan also. People forget that. But when you referee, when you walk out there for those 48 minutes, you're a ref.
Right.
But when you walk off, that first thing I do is open up and I look at the box scores.
Every morning at 8 a.m., the NBA sends out a tweet with everyone's birthday who's in the NBA. I mean, they really do a good job.
Oh, they're great job.
And I think they do it better than, the NFL is king of, mass media sports. But I think the NBA does better than the NHL and any other sport, to bring the game forward. NBA Africa, NBA overseas, the Emirates Cup, and all the things that Adam Silver is trying to do
to
better the game. Yeah. It keeps us engaged. And contrary to most people, we love All-Star Weekend. I want no defense. I want to see nothing but scoring. Mr. Crawford.
Please, Joe.
Joe, if I gave you one shot to tell people why they should watch this game, tell me why they should watch it.
It's the best game in the world with the best athletes and the best coaches and the best refs.
And the best officials. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, so happy to have him.
Thank you.
He's Joey Crawford, former NBA official. Still, it sounds like you're in administration right now.
I am, yes. But
yes.
This is my 10th year.
His 10th year. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Chelsie.
Thanks for tuning in to the DMV Hoops Podcast, your home for high school basketball coverage across the DMV. Be sure to subscribe, follow, and share the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, YouTube, Buzzsprout, and everywhere podcasts are heard. Follow us on Instagram and X at DMV Hoops Podcast. The DMV Hoops Podcast is hosted by Kirk Cross, featuring Chelsie Cross. Thanks for listening.